Hey Dragon Slayers, today's video is about Dr. Mindy Pelz hormone feasting recipes, pork chops with fennel, leeks, kale, and potatoes. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Let's get started. So this recipe makes 4 servings. You're gonna have 1 pork chop and half a cup of vegetables per serving. For your ingredients, for the potatoes, you're going to have 1 pound of fingerling or baby potatoes that have been washed and halved, 2 medium turnips that have been washed and cubed, about the same size as the halved potatoes, 3 tablespoons of ghee, melted, 2 cloves of garlic, grated, 2 rosemary sprigs, leaves removed, and minced, 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, fennel, leeks, and kale. You're going to have 3 tablespoons of avocado oil, 2 leeks that have been washed, roots and green tops trimmed off. White and pale green parts of them should be sliced. 1 lemon, sliced thin with the seeds removed. 3 large fennel bulbs, trimmed and sliced thin. 1 teaspoon of sea salt. 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, a half teaspoon for milder spice, and a full teaspoon if you like more heat. 4 cups of kale, and 1 14.5 ounce cannellini or navy beans, drained and rinsed. So for your pork chop, you're going to have 4 thick bone-in chops that weigh around 8 to 10 ounces each. Pat them dry, sea salt all sides, freshly ground black pepper them. You're going to want 2 fresh thyme sprigs, leaves removed and minced, 1 tablespoon of ghee, divided, 3/4 cup of chicken broth. And for your instructions, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Line a rimmed baking sheet with parchment paper. Toss together the potatoes and turnips in a large bowl with the ghee, garlic, rosemary, salt, and pepper. Once everything is evenly saturated and seasoned, scatter the potato and turnip mixture evenly onto the prepared baking sheet. Place in the oven and cook for 25 to 30 minutes, or until the vegetables are fork tender. While the potatoes are roasting, prepare the remaining vegetables. You're going to heat the avocado oil in a large skillet over medium to high heat and add the leeks and cook for 3 to 4 minutes, or until they start to become tender. Add in the lemon slices and continue cooking for another couple of minutes. Once the leeks are translucent and the lemons are starting to brown at the edges, add in the fennel and season with salt, pepper, and the red pepper flakes. Cook until the fennel starts to shrink and become tender. Then add in the kale and beans. Continue cooking for another 3 to 4 minutes, or until the kale wilts and the beans are heated through. Taste, add more salt if needed, and remove from the heat. Heat a second skillet over medium to high heat. While the skillet warms, season the pork chops with salt, pepper, and that minced thyme. Once the skillet is hot, add half of your ghee. After it melts, add in your pork chops. Sear for 5 minutes without touching the pork. Then flip them over and sear for another 5 minutes. After the second side of the pork is done searing, add the remaining ghee to your skillet. Using tongs and a spoon or a heat-resistant brush, flip the pork chops and glaze with the ghee and cooking juices in the pan. Continue to flip and baste the pork chops for about 5 minutes. Then remove from the skillet and set aside for at least 10 minutes. Pour the chicken broth into the hot skillet to deglaze it, using a whisk to pull up all the fond, which are the bits of pork left over at the bottom. Once the broth begins to boil, reduce the heat to medium-low and gently boil until the liquid reduces by more than a half. Taste the reduction and add more salt if needed. Slice the pork chops and serve with a big scoop of potatoes, sauteed vegetables, and a spoonful of reduction sauce over the top. So your nutritional facts per serving are going to be 17 grams of total fat, 55 grams of carbohydrates net, and 26 grams of protein. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.